The realm. Do you know what the realm is? It's the 1,000 blades of Aegon's enemies. A story we agree to tell each other over and over till we forget that it's a lie.
I need to learn to see better. When the long night comes again, I need to be ready.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back for another Game of Thrones Season 8 theory video. Before I get started, I just want to let everyone know the winner of the giveaway has been randomly selected, and that person's name will be announced at the end of the video, so if you entered the giveaway, make sure you stay until the end to find out if you've won. Now let's get started. Today I want to talk about the Weirwood tree that's in Winterfell's God's Wood. The heart tree that we see in the God's Wood has been there for thousands of years, and this has been a very special place for House Stark because, as we all know, they prayed to the old gods. Weirwoods are considered sacred to the followers of the old gods, and the children of the forest even believe the weirwoods are the gods. The greenseers of the children of the forest can see through the eyes of weirwoods with carved faces. Since trees have no sense of time, the greenseer can see into the past or present when looking through the eyes of a tree. The tree that's in Winterfell's God's Wood has even more significance now because a member of House Stark is a very powerful greenseer who can use these trees as a weapon. Some of you may have seen one of my recent videos where I read one of Bran Stark's chapters from A Dance with Dragons. In that chapter, we learned that weirwood trees are the first thing a greenseer is able to use as their eyes, but in time, a greenseer can see far beyond the trees themselves. We got a glimpse of this in one of Bran's very first chapters, which I just recently read on my channel as well. This is when the three-eyed crow teaches Bran how to fly. This enables Bran to see the entire realm and everyone in it. He is able to see everything from Winterfell all the way to the lands of Ashai by the Shadow. Now in the TV show Game of Thrones, it seems that whenever a greenseer uses the eyes of a weirwood tree, the tree also seems to take on their appearance. When the three-eyed raven was bound to the tree inside the cave, some of the faces on the weirwood trees had a very strong resemblance to his own face. The trees almost look just like the three-eyed raven whenever he is using those trees, and we see this again in Season 7 when Bran Stark becomes the new three-eyed raven. Bran is sitting right next to the tree, and if you look at his face and the face of the tree, they almost look identical, especially when it comes to the facial expressions. It seems to suggest that Bran is currently inhabiting that tree, but we know there is one more character that also has access to the weirwood net, and that is the Night King. There is also some evidence that may suggest the Night King has been looking through the eyes of Winterfell's weirwood tree ever since Season 2. If that's true, this could help support so many different theories which I want to get into today. But first, I have to give a shout out to the person who pointed this out. There is another Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire YouTuber who goes by the name of Khaleesi Clues. I recently saw one of her videos, and in that video, she is the one who actually pointed this out. I thought this was a very interesting observation because it could support many of the other ideas I have discussed on my channel already. So that's when I decided to reach out to her and make sure it was okay for me to mention the clue. If you would like to see her video on this topic, I will put the link to her video and channel down below. She currently has about 30 subscribers, but I think with the help of all of you, we can get that number much higher, so please go subscribe to her channel because she does have some other interesting videos. Now let's take a look at the weirwood tree from Season 2 because it has some striking similarities to the Night King's face. This scene was shortly after Theon had control of Winterfell. At the time, Bran, Rickon, Hodor, and Osha were hiding down in the crypts of Winterfell. But after the castle is burned, they begin to flee the area, and as they're leaving, they notice Maester Luwin laying under the tree as he's dying. Take a look at the tree's face during this scene. It no longer looks like the three-eyed raven, and it certainly doesn't look like Bran Stark. Not only does it look like the Night King, but it also reminds me of the painting left on Dragonstone by the Children of the Forest. Now if you listen to the dialogue in this scene when Maester Luwin is talking to them, what he tells them to do could also relate to the face on the tree.
But they may come back, you have to go. Put on your warmest clothes. Pack as much food as you can carry and go north.
North's the wrong way. Their mother and brother is south.
We don't know where. There are too many enemies in the south. Go to the wall. To John. He'll look after you and let your mother know you're safe.
As you can see, Maester Luwin tells them to go north, and this starts Bran on his journey that will eventually lead to him meeting the Night King face to face, and if that's the Night King's face in the tree, he has known this the entire time. We know the Night King can access the Weirwood net because we've seen him do it when Bran was also inside of the Weirwood net. The Night King seemed to have set a trap for Bran because he was just sitting there waiting for him, and this allowed him to grab Bran, which gave him access to the Three-Eyed Raven's cave. I think it would also support the theory that the Night King has been planning things the whole time. Like I've said in some of my other videos, I think the Night King is a green seer too, and this might be why the children chose to turn him into the Night King in the first place. You see, one of the main reasons why the conflict between the children and the First Men started was because they were cutting down their trees and they were even burning their weirwood trees. This made the children act, which resulted in years and years of bloodshed. Even though the children had magic on their side, they were still outnumbered, so the children needed a weapon that could turn the numbers against the First Men. Out of desperation, they created a weapon that can raise all of the dead. But in order to do this, the children needed to find someone that had greensight and the ability to control animals and even people, just like Bran Stark. In the books, there is a legend about the Night's King. He was the 13th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and according to Old Nan, this man was a Stark of Winterfell. Well, one night, he was approached by a woman that was described as a female White Walker, so they began to have sex and they eventually got married. Soon after, the Lord Commander had the ability to bound his brothers of the Night's Watch to his will, which means he was able to control them, but this story ends in a Cain and Abel-like fashion. The Night King's brother just happened to be the Stark of Winterfell, and he got word of what his brother was doing at the Wall. He was also put in a desperate situation, which led to him joining forces with the King beyond the Wall, and together they brought down the Night's King and Queen. It's a very important legend because it's happening all over again today in the current story. When the children created the Night King, they actually tied him to the weirwood tree because they wanted to make this weapon as powerful as possible. Their weapon needed to be able to access all of their powers as well. I think the man they captured already possessed some of their powers, like warging at the very least. But after they tied him to the weirwood tree and shoved dragonglass in his chest, this gave him the power of greensight and the power to raise the dead, along with creating his own super soldiers like the White Walkers. I also happen to believe this man comes from the same bloodline as the Starks, and just like the legend of the Night's King, it will take another Stark to bring him down. That's why Bran and Jon have had such a strong connection with the Night King. I think the Night King has been using the weirwood trees just like Bran, and he knows that these are the Starks that are coming to take him down. He has been keeping an eye on them the entire time, dating all the way back to Season 2, and possibly even before that. The Night King started to become very active again once Jon was about to go to the Wall, and Bran was about to be visited by the Three-Eyed Crow in his dreams. The Night King knew it was time to start raising an army, because Bran and Jon were about to be heading his way. He let Bran make it all the way to the cave because he knew he would eventually catch him inside of the weirwood net once the Three-Eyed Crow started teaching Bran how to use it. He allowed Jon to capture a white because he knew it would lead to him capturing one of Dany's dragons. The Night King knew one of his whites was a very small price to pay for the life of a dragon. Not only does it increase the Night King's firepower, but it also gave him access to all of Westeros. And can you guess where the Night King is heading next? I've been saying it in video after video. He's going after the only few characters that are even capable of stopping him. And those characters will all be in Winterfell at the same damn time. They may have even been hinting at this as the Wall came crashing down. When the Army of the Dead were marching through Eastwatch by the Sea, we got a bird's eye view of the Night King's army. It does kind of resemble the Stark sigil, but whether that was purposely done or not, that doesn't change the fact that the Night King wants to take out his biggest threats, who will be at Winterfell at the start of next season. Around 8,000 years ago, the Night King had control over the Wall for 13 years, until his own brother, the Stark of Winterfell, ended his reign by killing him, and this is what is about to happen in the current story. Stark versus Starks, and I think Ground Zero will take place right at their home in Winterfell. Now when it comes to the weirwood tree in Season 2, whether that's the Night King's face or not is up for debate, but it makes so much sense to me because of the Starks' deep-rooted history with the others. This also supports the theory that the Night King has the power to look through the trees as well. I think this was proven when he was able to access Bran's vision and physically grab him. Not to mention, he did seem to just be waiting around for Dany to arrive with her dragons. I think we could come to find out the Night King has been planning things all along, ever since the beginning of the story, but let me know what you think. Does any of it make sense to you, or do you have another theory of your own? Put your thoughts and questions down below in the comment section. I would love to hear what you have to say. Now it's time to announce who won the A Song of Ice and Fire book set. The website draws the name at random, and the person who was pulled out of the hat is John Hanna. Congratulations, John. Make sure you send me an email with your address, that way I know where to ship the books. If you did not win today, do not worry, I'm starting a new giveaway in the very next video. I want to thank those of you who participated, and I also want to thank Khaleesi Clues. Please go and subscribe to her channel and check out some of her other great videos. I would love to see her subscriber count get to over 100 by the end of the day. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, I really appreciate that. I hope everyone has a great day. I'll see you again very soon. Bye.